grab a glass and get out here. Today, we're getting nerdy. We are talking about Star Wars characters and what whiskey they would be. So this is an idea I saw done first by the Suburban Dad. I'll include a link to his channel. He did this with Lord of the Rings characters, which I'll be doing that as well. But I wanted to start with Star Wars. So the idea is I'm going to take some of the most popular Star Wars characters, especially from the original trilogy. If you want, I can do some of the other trilogies as well. I'll probably skip the sequel trilogy, but the prequels, it's an option. So I'll take a character from the original trilogy and give a bottle of bourbon or whiskey that American whiskey that I would associate with that character, and a couple reasons why. So to start off with, we'll start with the main man himself, Luke Skywalker. I think the most appropriate whiskey for the face of a franchise like this would be Buffalo Trace. Standard Buffalo Trace. It's super popular. Face of the franchise, Buffalo Trace is kind of the face of bourbon in America, especially. It's one of the most popular bottles for anyone getting into this. But it's also a little tame and safe. Luke Skywalker, for the majority of the movies, is a bit of a goody two-shoes. He's kind of simple. He's your straight man. He's your hero. Not a crazy amount of complexity, but he's a good character. He's a good guy. And that's what you get with Buffalo Trace. And then you switch to his twin sister, Leia Organa, or Leia Skywalker. And I would say for that, I would look to John J. Bowman Single Barrel. So little more proof, and I would say Leia's character is just a little more interesting throughout as well. The journey she has to take from being a princess, getting captured, the downs of that back up to, leading the rebellion. She has a little more of an arc. John J. Bowman is a little more interesting, and then there's also that hidden connection with Buffalo Trace as well. You can connect the dots there. That's where I would put. Also, if you look at the bottle shape, put two of those on the side of your head, you kind of get the space buttons. Next, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I had some more trouble picking a bottle for, but I ended up choosing the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. It's you take Maker's Mark, which is great as a baseline, but then you hide it away. Obi-Wan gets hidden away on Tatooine, aging, getting older, and then comes back out. He's soft-spoken, wheated whiskey, carries a lot of complexity, some great flavors. He's still a great Jedi and a teacher. So that's my pick for Obi-Wan. Moving on to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. I thought the most appropriate choice for them would be Fireball. Make of that what you will. Then Han Solo, my personal favorite character. I love Han Solo. I wanted to be Han Solo growing up. I named my first car the Millennium Falcon. It was a bucket of bolts, but it got me from A to B, just like the Millennium Falcon. And for Han Solo, I picked the Benchmark Foolproof. So I'm actually going to have a sip of that. You're getting some budget packaging, bucket of bolts, no frills, but carrying some oomph. Carrying the sass that comes with Han Solo. Don't tell me the odds of having a very delicious, high-proof whiskey out of Buffalo Trace at $25. What are the odds of that? Yeah, cheap packaging, kind of looks rough, but it carries some serious heat. Really high quality. Oh yeah, that is. Oh, it's sweet. It's proofy, but once you get past that, you get the sweetness inside. It's great. Going on to his sidekick, trusty sidekick of Chewbacca. I figured Chewbacca would be a big fan of Redwood Empire's Grizzly Beast. Chewbacca is a grizzly beast and I think he'd be a big fan of Redwood Empire's mission of planting more trees and everything that goes along with that. Big flavors, big guy. That one seemed obvious to me. Moving on to the droids, R2-D2. For R2-D2, I picked WB Saffle. WB Saffle is a product out of Wild Turkey that only comes in 375 millimeter bottles, so half bottles. Short droid, little stubby bottle, little stubby droid. Also small package, but big flavors. Really good stuff out of Wild Turkey. If you haven't tried it, you definitely should. It's a hidden gem. Then jumping over to C-3PO. For C-3PO, I picked Willet Potstill. Now, no judgment on those who are big fans of Willet Potstill or those who are fans of C-3PO. Both are very goldish yellow colored. Both are very flashy, but they both kind of lack substance. I'll leave it at that. I wasn't the biggest fan of C-3PO. Then moving on to two of the heavy hitters in Yoda and Darth Vader. Yoda. For Yoda, I picked the Michter's 10-year rye because, judge me by my proof, you shall not. And for Darth Vader, I picked Midsummer Night's Dram. It's a drama queen. Vader is at heart a drama queen. And especially if you look at what has happened to it over the years, you're starting with a release that was much more affordable back when it was distillery only, some of those first releases, and higher quality. And then it got released, revived, or brought back by the evil empire of trying to take as much money away from you as possible. And it got much more expensive with the wider releases, and quality started to suffer. The force is not as strong with it as it used to be before it was stripped down in order to make the Empire as much money as possible. With that, I hope you enjoyed nerding out with me about Star Wars. Leave any ideas of yours down below. Any other franchises you'd be interested in me, connecting characters and bottles. Let me know. If I'm familiar with the franchise, I'll try. Cheers. Go watch a movie.